Hello guys, welcome back to Viva Barca and welcome to the home of everything Barcelona, where we are going to be discussing on the latest developing stories. We start with Ansu Fati, as it has been reported that the young star is seeking professional help to deal with psychological issues. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Then secondly, talking about Jules Koundé and his injury update, as it has been reported that Barca are currently pessimistic about the defender's injury, who could be out for 1 month. We're also going to be discussing about that. So guys, as we get right into it, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. With all nations set to head to Qatar in November, the ongoing international break came as a final opportunity to fine-tune their squads, and Ansu Fati's exclusion from the Spanish national team is seemingly a worrying sign. The Barcelona wonderkid's array of injuries and lack of playing time meant Luis Enrique had fancied other alternatives, despite the youngster being one of the few attacking game changers in the side. However, it has been revealed that the situation is not as adverse as it seems, with light of the end of the tunnel for the prolific winger. As per a report by Sport, while Fati was somewhat affected by the news about being excluded from Spain's squad ahead of Nations League games against Portugal and Switzerland, he remains calm as there is a plan in place to ensure he returns to the side feeling 100%. Further details suggest that all indications have suggested that the 19-year-old is already fully fit and fiery. However, it has been claimed that the same cannot be said for the teenager from a psychological perspective, which is why he's currently, receiving help from a professional. Considering the Spanish international has missed a staggering 82 games in the last 2 seasons across all club competitions, it is understandable why he is reeling, from certain psychological scars upon the return to fitness. While there is no denying Fati's talent, injuries have held back a career destined for greatness. With the La Masia graduate said to work more physically during international break, Luis Enrique may have taken a call to give the player the time to return to his very best from both a physical and mental standpoint before the World Cup starts in November. A lot has been spoken about Ansu Fati and his exclusion from the Spain national team, recently when Luis Enrique opted not to call him. And I think Ansu Fati should not worry, but I think he will be called for the World Cup in Qatar. And it's clear that Enrique did not call him because he's not 100% fit. And Enrique, who knows Barca very well, knows very well for the fact that Xavi is very cautious with the player and wants him to be fit. That's why we have not been seeing Ansu Fati starting games regularly. Ansu Fati have always been, starting, then becoming in the second period. And I think Xavi is just following what the medicals have advised him to do. So there's no reason why Ansu Fati will be annoyed about the fact that he was not called. But recently it has been reported that he's calm. He still believes that Luis Enrique understands the situation and will definitely call him in the month of November when the World Cup starts. So not only physically is Ansu Fati having problems, even mentally. Maybe the issue of not playing for a long time for Barca, missing up to 84 games, and also for the fact that he have not been called, which on the first day it really disturbed him a lot, even though he's getting used to it and understands. But mentally, Ansu Fati is seeking psychological help from an expert, according to reports, to help him out psychologically, to have that free mind and confidence, that boost that we need. Of course, Ansu Fati was destined for greatness. Injury came to scare him. Injury came, but we hope that Ansu Fati bounced back and be even more better than the way he was prior to the injury. It's been a very sad time for Ansu Fati's footballing career, a player that everybody saw as the heir to Messi's throne, to the extent of handing Messi's prestigious number 10 shirt to him, which was a heavy load to carry, and now we are seeing how injury have been striking him every time. But hopefully he can be managed so well this season, and of course he comes back to his great level that we want him to be, because when Ansu Fati is on top form, Barca definitely plays so well and win matches. Prolific in front of goal, Ansu Fati is known so well for that. So it's great to see how he's fit so far this season and the way Manager Xavi have been managing his game time, which definitely you can understand why. We need him very well as the season goes on. Luckily enough, Xavi went to buy a lot of good attacking players, two good players per position. That was the strategy for the signings, and having the squad depth so that if Ansu Fati is not, Barca can't say we are missing Ansu Fati. Definitely we still have a very good bench to win matches, and of course definitely it's so important to have Fati back as well despite this. Then moving on to the next story of discussion. Yesterday, in an unfortunate yet predictable fashion, 4 Barca players picked up injuries and knocks on the first day of international break. Jules Koundé was the first to be substituted off in the wake of what looked like a thigh injury. Not too late after that, Frankie de Jong was taken off at halftime as precaution by Luis van Gaal. In the second half of the same game, Memphis Depay went down with injury, while a hamstring, and later, during France vs Austria, Ousmane Dembélé was reported to have picked up a muscle discomfort. While there are no updates about 3 of them, initial tests were carried out for Koundé in Paris today. According to Javi Miguel, there is pessimism surrounding his injury. He could be out for so long, or maybe for 4 weeks. While Barcelona have the squad depth to deal with Koundé's absence, this is definitely problematic for Xavi. The Frenchman had settled so well, so brilliantly over the course of the month, dropping 10 out of 10 performances as right back and also as centre back. In fact, Koundé has already registered 3 assists to his name as a Barca player in just 5 games, while also maintaining 3 clean sheets. Thankfully, Xavi has the likes of Andres Christensen, Eric Garcia, and even Gerard Piqué at his disposal. However, he faces problems of the right-back department, with only Hector Bellerin and Sergio Roberto available on duty. Both of them are solid players in their own right, but neither of them quite provides the defensive solidity of Jules Koundé. It would not be surprising to see Xavi opt to use Ronald Araujo in that position across October, where the schedule will be increasingly difficult. It came as a very sad news when reports came out that Koundé have picked up an injury while playing for France, and now we're getting reports that it is likely to be for 1 month, which is really terrible. And seeing the way Koundé have been pivotal, have been so important, playing so well since coming from Sevilla, being one of the best new players for Barca this term, it will be a great miss for us, honestly speaking. Despite that, we have a good bench. We have that good squad to pick from. So let's see how it goes. Let's see. We have a very packed schedule in the month of October. Barca will play about 9 games in just 4 weeks, so we have a lot to develop, a lot to do. Xavi have a lot of thinking. Of course, Koundé have been playing more as a right back this season than even his natural position, playing on centre back. And he has been the best right back. That's just the irony. More than Hector Bellerin, more than Sergio Roberto, and it's really great. It's going to be a big miss. So let's see how Xavi is going to cope with it. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.